Hi, Roberta here. I have another journal for you. This one is, if I remember correctly, 5.5 by 7, and this was what started out as a master board. Um, some people just call them a collage sheet, and it was some pretty bright colors, and at some point I decided they were sort of screaming at me, and I didn't have any gesso, so I just used my fingers to blob some white paint around to tone it down a little bit, and then I took a Castillo Faber-Castell pit pen. That's what I'm trying to say. Took a Faber-Castell pit pen and just sort of delineated some of the areas. I used scrapbook paper and dictionary pages, and that's all I can see. And of course some lace on the binding. And on front I've got a piece of cheesecloth and a cutout that I think, well, I'm not sure who it is. It could be Ephemera's Vintage Garden, and it could be Tsunami Rose. Inside, and it's just cardstock. And the other thing I've started doing a little bit is venturing out and using my sewing machine to do some stitching, and it wasn't quite as scary as I thought it was going to be, so I'm kind of happy with that. I also reinforced down the binding, the center, with some craft text, which I hadn't used before either, but I found some on sale somewhere, so I ordered it, and I like it. I think I can do a lot with it. So this is a pocket made with a book page, and I used some stamps and some punches that I have in my stash. I made a tag using some scrapbook paper. You probably could write on this side with a darker pen. And this is a, what do you call it, an alteration tag. And I believe that that was just downloaded from someplace online as well. This is scrapbook paper that I've had for longer than some of you have probably been alive. And some coffee dyed paper, and these are Tracy Fox botanical, what does she call them? Not, well, they're not the tea cards. They're something, and I think I might have shrunk them down. And I just stapled them on with a tiny stapler. And some music paper with some lace trim and some lined pages. I make these myself on my computer, and this one has like a tint of red to it. It looks like a very dark red. And a stamp, and then this was a cutout from a piece of scrapbook paper, I believe. This is a little paper bag, and I put some book pages. I think these are the tea cards, the Tracy Fox tea cards. This is a piece of avocado dyed paper underneath. And then I found some lace shears at Goodwill and bought them, and I've been cutting them up and using them much like you would use the cheesecloth. And it has a bingo card in the pocket. This, I'm pretty sure, is Deli Girl, and something that I downloaded a long time ago. She had two printables, either the blue with the rings on it, you know, kind of like coffee cup marks, and I think she had a beige one as well, and I'm pretty sure that's her. And that's some scrapbook paper and a punch. This is a page from an old notepad that I picked up probably at Goodwill as well. This is avocado dyed paper, which I'm just really in love with. I'm not a huge pink person, but I just love the fact that I can take this ugly looking, gritty looking green avocado skin and get pink paper out of it. It's kind of like magic. I did some stamping on that. This is some ledger paper, a coffee dyed book page. This is tracing paper with some washi tape on it, coffee dyed, and a little bit of a fabric tab. This is some avocado dyed ledger page, and these I believe are Tracy Fox labels as well. And this is a vellum envelope that I found at a thrift store a number of years ago. There was a package of them in different sizes and colors and designs for like 50 cents, so you know I had to grab it. And this is a printable that I think just came from Pinterest and did not have anybody's name attached to it. Dictionary page, some more avocado dyed paper, just a paper clip that I put some gold thread and some ribbon on. These were, I think they were part of a paper pack actually. Some more avocado dyed paper and a flip using a punch couple of punches that I have, and a doily. Just flips up for some hidden little writing space. This is the center of the signature with some butterflies on the strings and a very small tag with the birds stamped on them. And another dictionary page, the other half of that vellum envelope, and this I think was part of a paper pack. I don't think that was something I printed off. This was something that I printed off a number of years ago, and I have it in my head that it might be Ephemera's Vintage Garden. This is a glued-on tuck spot, and I've got a ticket and a punch and some music paper, some lace, and this is from that October Afternoon paper pad that I mentioned before. Washi tape, more of the ledger paper dyed, coffee dyed paper with lace, tracing paper, book page. This is coffee dyed ledger paper, but it was yellow paper, so that's why it's kind of yellowish. A fabric tab on the avocado dyed paper, and a pad or a notebook, the other half of that paper. This is the other half of the paper bag, and I just folded it over and made a little tuck spot where the bottom of the bag would be. Put some scrapbook paper on it and made like a little teeny tiny journal to go inside of it. And I even put a tuck spot with a few cutouts from punches. Tracy Fox, well, those aren't botanicals because those are animals, but it's Tracy Fox. Those are her tea cards. And some scrapbook paper and some tea-dyed paper with a corner punch and a little tiny tag also from Tracy Fox. So just a separate little writing place, kind of a hidden writing place. And lined paper, coffee dyed paper, and a tab, music. And this is just sort of like my card. On the back, in case anybody cares who I am, a tuck spot and some washi tape. And I think I sprayed that with coffee instead of sticking it right in the coffee. And it's just the other half of that piece of scrapbook paper. And here's a pocket just made with craft cardstock, which I stamped and put a little printable. I believe this is Tsunami Rose from many, many moons ago. And that is that journal. I did put a closure on it. It seems to, well, stay fairly flat. I probably need to weigh it down a little bit, but maybe I'll add a closure if it seems like it needs one at some point. In the meantime, thank you very much for watching. I'd love to hear your comments. Have a great day.